A lot of times my videos are edited. You know, I take a few hours at least to edit each video. You know, I like to add some things in there, kind of spice it up, make sure I cut out all the ums and ahs and keep it kind of flowing a little bit, you know. I'm gonna try and just talk while I do these chores I gotta do right now and see how that comes out. So y'all let me know what you think of this style of video. We're in Utah right now, and this video is going to come out a little bit before some the other videos that are going to come out next actually took place. So we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit in time. I'm making my way down to Quartzsite, and that's mainly what I wanted to talk to y'all about today was Quartzsite. But the sun's coming down. The dogs and I, we had an inside day pretty much all day because the snow is starting. And it's freezing. Temperatures are getting really close right now. In a few hours, it's going to be freezing temperatures. We had rain pretty much all day and wind and not much sun. You can see all this fog that's out here. I don't know, did I say already that we're in Utah? Yeah, I think I did. So the snow level is coming down in the mountains out there, and we're getting quite a breeze. So the breeze is another thing I wanted to mention today, because what I've been dealing with is, you know, this is just kind of nomad problems, right? It's not really a big deal. We got plenty of power. We got a propane up here for the heater that runs the heater, but you need a little bit of electricity to run the heater. And also I got a TV in there, so I'm trying to, whoa, that is windy and cold. So I'm trying to like edit and like, you know, watch a show, watch some movies, watch some YouTube. So I'm using a little bit of power in there. And I got 2 solar panels up there, but since there wasn't any sun today, you know, that's the main thing I was dealing with. I just realized the wind is probably getting into the microphone a lot. So maybe I am gonna have to do some editing after all. So I'll try and stay out of the wind as best I can here. But the solar panels on top just aren't collecting solar power today, basically. So the batteries are kind of getting low, and I'm running my heater more because it's super cold today. The last few days have been really nice out, so that's why I kind of wanted to stay here rather than, you know, make a beeline towards Quartzsite, because we've had nice weather here. I'm like, hey, it's silent, it's peaceful, there's hardly anybody out here. So I'm going to stay as long as the weather's good. But today, basically, it just kind of snap changed into this really, really cold. And you can see there's snow coming down right now. But I got the generator out today, and so I'm trying to run the generator. Here, I'll show you the generator. So I've been keeping the generator under the trailer because it's raining. And I don't want the rain, you know, basically to damage the generator. So when it's raining, I'm not running the generator. But what I did today is, since I really needed it, I opened the awning. Because with the awning out, you know, it hangs out here about good 8, it must be 8 or 10 feet out here. Then it'll cover the generator. And that keeps the rain off of the generator. Then I can run the electrical cable for the trailer. Right here. I got a surge protector on it. That's what's inside this plastic bag here. And this plugs right into the generator. Then the trailer is fully powered. And I can run the heater. You know, I can run the TV. I can run anything I want in there, basically, on the low setting on the generator. And that thing will run. It'll run over 8 hours on a gallon of gasoline. And I can come out and turn it on and off whenever I need to. But what happened was the wind started to pick up. So with the awning out, and in a couple videos from now, you'll see I had some awning damage, which every RVer deals with awning damage. So it's nothing new, but it sucks because it's expensive and it's on the outside of your rig. So a lot of times if it's damaged, you can't go anywhere. So it's kind of more important than you would think. So you got to fix it like right away. But I got it fixed now. And you'll see more details about that issue that I had in some videos coming up. But the wind's coming up, So I have to bring the awning in, and then what happens is the rain's coming down, so I got to turn the generator off and put it back under the trailer, which means, you know, hopefully my batteries have charged enough in that time. And so today, that's kind of what I've been dealing with, is kind of bringing the generator in and out, and then realizing like I gotta put the awning in because I don't want it to get damaged by the wind. So I'm kind of waiting for right now where, well, there's still wind, but there's no rain. There's a little bit of snow coming down, but if it doesn't keep going like this, then I can keep running the generator and we'll have plenty of heat and power in the trailer. And it does charge up the batteries at the same time. So that all kind of, the system works as long as the weather kind of doesn't get in your way. Your systems will work pretty well. So what I'm listening to right now is the heater's coming on. And this is the exhaust for the heater right here. And it's blowing out really, really warm air. So you could kind of stand here and, you know, as long as you don't breathe it in, it's really warm air. And that runs mostly on the propane, like I was saying, but it does use a fair amount of electricity just to run the main fan. That runs purely on the electricity, which is the batteries on the trailer. And every RV is gonna have, you know, a different system. But this is the system I got. I got two golf cart batteries up here, and that's what I got. There's two 6-volt batteries. So together they're 12 volts, and that runs the whole system. And usually I don't have a problem with power, and I'm not having a problem now. It's just you have to kind of keep on top of it so your batteries don't die or get too low. Because if they get too low, you can damage your batteries. Now I wanted to talk about Quartzsite, because once you get to Quartzsite, it's basically full sun all the time. You know, there are some rainy days here and there and some overcast days here and there, but for the most part, you're going to get tons and tons of sun. The sun is a little bit lower in the sky, so some people will be tilting their panels. I don't do that. I don't have that system. Some people will have tons of panels. I only have two 100-watt panels, so I have a really, really small solar system. And I do struggle a little bit. I could use a couple more panels for when the sun is really, really low, like December and January. But once February comes around, the sun's high enough, I get tons of power for my needs, you know, for what I need to do. So right now what I got to do is I got to feed these dogs, because Mr. Echo's been cooped up all day. All he wants to do is eat. Dodger's been a good dog. He doesn't care about the cold. He's just running around out there. You can see he's totally fine. In fact, he was sleeping on the couch all by himself last night. I had the heater off too, and he doesn't even care. Like, he just makes his decision. He's like, no, I don't want to sleep with you and Mr. Echo in bed under the covers where it's nice and warm. He's like, I want to just sleep out on the couch all by myself. Look, he won't even look at the camera. He hates being on camera. There he is. There's my dog. Now, Dodger is not a young dog. If you haven't seen us on the Got Out channel before, he's 16 years old, but he's the best hiker out of the three of us. He hikes more than me or Mr. Echo, because usually Mr. Echo's on his leash and I'm attached to Mr. Echo. Dodger's well behaved enough he can hike off leash, and he wanders a little bit, so he always ends up hiking a lot further than we do. It's kind of funny because he's so old, but he's still surprised. Okay, are you guys hungry? Are you hungry? Okay. So I don't know if this is going to be interesting, but I'll show you my food setup for the dogs. This is how I feed them. They eat every day at 6 o'clock at night, and in the morning, of course. So I got this old food storage bin here. It's a 5-gallon bucket, and that's what I keep their dog food in, and Dodger's medicine. Good boy. Okay, wait. Okay. Now, I know it's getting dark right now, but like I said, I'm trying to take advantage of the weather. Basically, it's not raining, so it's a good time to shoot some video. dogs, well, Dodger, he needs water in his food. I don't know if you guys have dogs like that too, but he'll choke on his food if he doesn't have water in it. So I always put a little bit of water in his food. You hungry? You speak? Yes, yes. We're getting some snow on us. Echo, see? Okay, go wait, sit. Echo up. Yes, Echo, yes, good. I always try to get him to do a trick. I've been working on his bark. And he can bark, he can speak now on command, at least when there's food around, he can do that. And then Dodger's got a little medicine that he takes for his arthritis. I'm super lucky that that's the only issue that he has health-wise. Here you go. That's a good boy. So that's how I feed the dogs every day. Twice a day. And man, some of you guys have sent us treats for the dogs from our Amazon wish list, and that's super, super nice. In fact, I got a couple left from Mark and Yumi that I've been wanting to give to these guys on camera, because I've given them all the other treats from you guys and I didn't record it. So I think I'm gonna have to take this video inside because it's getting cold. I guess I could stand right here, but I don't know how good that looks on video, because I really want to talk about Quartzsite, because some people don't know about Quartzsite. You know, I mean, I didn't know about Quartzsite my first year and a half. Like, I would hear people talk about it and I was like, oh, why would I want to go somewhere where there's tons of other campers and RVers? And I want to be out in nature, in the middle of nature. And Quartzsite is kind of a mix of, you know, tons and tons of people, like a big city basically worth of people, a huge city worth of people. Supposedly there's like over 1 million people come through town that time of year, this time of year, which is for the winter, for the snowbird season. So it's a mix of nature, because you are out in the middle of the desert and you're self-sustaining yourself. There's stuff that, you know, there's services, there's a town there with services and stuff. There's not much for a lot of things. Like, there's no Walmart, there's no big department store, there's not really a good grocery store. They got like a Dollar General, that kind of thing. There's some fruit stands and things like that, and there's some food booths and things like that, but you're going to pay higher prices for one thing, and it's just not that great of a selection. So you got to drive a ways to get your food, so you're still self-sustaining yourself. But if you stay on what they call the LTVA, which is the long-term visitor access or something like that, it's a permit that you pay. It's $180, and you stay within certain areas of the BLM land. It's part of the Bureau of Land Management area, and you can stay in these certain areas now for longer. It's a 7-month pass, and you get some services in certain areas. There's going to be these services like water, which is the most important thing, because it's super easy to get water if you have this pass. The other important thing is the dump. You got to dump your gray tank and your black tank, and certain areas will have the dump services there provided. So you bring your trailer over, or you drive your RV over, or you carry your wastewater over, and you can dump it as part of this permit. And so having those two things there, they also have a big dumpster, so you can get rid of your trash really easily. So those 3 things are included. They also do have a few pit toilets if you want to use those with your permit, with your $180 pass. I'm going to take this inside because the dogs are done eating. They want to go inside, at least Mr. Echo does. And I'll talk some more about my thoughts on Quartzsite. As you know, I'm a newbie nomad. Like, that's still how I feel. I have a lot to learn. I feel like I know a lot of things, and I've become a lot more comfortable with this lifestyle, but I still feel like I have a lot to learn. So Quartzsite, in the idea of going there and staying there, still feels new to me, even though I have done it last year I did do it. So I want to talk to you all about that from that perspective.